54.
Got one loss to Acidine, and it looks like we've started. Pretty cool. Starting here in the Cap Kingdom, the tutorial kingdom, you might say. Sort of teaches you the basics of the movement and how capture works and stuff. It's a really nice job of doing that, but we skip through it pretty fast. No real crazy differences here. You'll see from the runners, they're both generally take the same route here. I was really synchronized. That looked really cool. RockBandMan bonking. Or that like devastating like bonk sound. People call it bonk because that's what it sounds like. It's basically just jumps or dives or rolls into a wall. He'll bonk. It's in the animation, so you know it's not a lot. But over time in the run, it happens again. Unfortunately for RockBandMan there. Got our first capture here though, we get a frog. Kind of breeze through this section. Got a little bit to go before the boss. See RockBandMan go left actually, so he might beat Max up here. We'll see. It's so you hit it around a second there from going to the left, which is faster, but depending on the route you have to take, it's just mastery of the movement there. Oh, this is really synced up too. That's really satisfying. A little bit off, but that's Topper. I was the first boss. If you blinked, you missed him. I know I blinked. I missed like half the fight. But that's kind of how it is with most of these bosses. Just really quick cycles. Sort of just interrupting their attack cycle to get the as possible. So taking the run that aren't required, because a lot of the boss fights actually aren't required. Some really fast strategies for getting past them.
Yeah, one thing that's really interesting is that even within like runners that have maybe like 10 minutes skipping in PBs, there are difference between like the first two kingdoms are maybe like 20 seconds at most.
Yeah. Missing the chain chomp there, unfortunate. Not a big mistake. Fine still. They're both coming up here on a pretty big skip in the run, one of the biggest here, and it involves a pretty precise jump. And what it does is it lets us trigger this loading zone for the boss fight a lot earlier than what we should have, skipping around a minute of platforming. See RockBandMan get it, and looks like it. Really fast. We'll see if Max can do the same. And looks like he's also got the distance. So the boss fight they're both on is pretty simple. Let's step out of the chain chomp, interrupt that, and then just get back on it. Problems and what RockBandMan's facing right now is if you don't give yourself enough space, a mama chain chomp on the wall, not have enough space to back up. extension from the chain chomp, and so we'll see that for both players. That actually happened, unfortunately. But you do have to go around. It takes a lot of time.
Yeah, it's a super high skip in the beginning of a run. You know, a lot of runners to go around doing PB, trying to get a PB for runs. You know, there are a lot of resets in that skip.
Now we got 4 moons in Cascade, just 1 left until we can repair the Odyssey and move on. So, luckily there's just 1 kind of sitting out for us right here. And... up Cascade.
Yeah, do you see in the upper left-hand corner, the little circles? That's how many moons we have to collect in each kingdom before you can move on.
So moving on to Sand Kingdom here. One of the kingdoms where we'll see a big route changes between both runners here. We've seen them do basically the same strategies. Differences here and there, but Sand Kingdom is really the first kingdom and really the only kingdom where you'll see just different routes and moons and things, because there's so many moons in the kingdom. It's got the most out of any kingdom in the game, and so you'll just see different runners switching up the orders of moons, switching up what moons they're collecting where, just whatever they're most comfortable with and whatever gives them the most success, because all the routes are only 5, 10, 15 seconds from each other, slow or fast, so it really just depends on what the runner is most comfortable with, what they've learned, stuff like that.
Also, it's interesting to see what route they choose in regard to how many coins they get, you know, and whether they do snow first or not, or seaside first.
Little movement difference there.
RockBandMan making quick work of that bird star.
And Max, unfortunately, getting the bird, but falling down before he's able to get that moon, so he's just gonna have to take the long way back up. Unfortunately, he misses it again. See if he can get it this time.
Interesting that both runners decided to do bird early versus the late bird, which is one of the some runners decided to have that as like the last start of day, or one of the last start of day in stand.
RockBand, unfortunately, accidentally diving instead of ground pounding, so he's gonna go back, reattempt it. I'm just gonna give Max a bit of time to catch up here. Finally manages to get that down. Max gets it first try there, and we've seen RockBandMan go around the sidewall here. Form what's known as bullet bill manipulation in the community, where we actually take this bullet bill and try and keep it alive, so we can only have it shoot once when we get this moon and use it to get to the next one. So successfully done it there, really well executed. With this jump off the icicle, so gonna take the long way around here. It's got a new bullet coming out, but I'm not sure if this one will crash or not. unfortunately.
I'm just saying that RockBandMan is trying to do Sphinx first and pick up the coins.
Yeah, it's a good point to bring up because we do need 200 coins throughout the course of the run. 2 moons from Kingdom Shops, which are 100 coins each. And so, need to make sure that they're really managing their coin count.
Also, one thing to know is that every time you die, you lose 10 coins, and in a speed run where, you know, you have such a precise route that you have to follow those, if you die a few times, you know, those 30 to 50 coins could be a lot to make up.
Looks like both runners did opt to go for Sphinx, so playing it safe with coins. Something to play safe in a race. Nice by RockBandMan there, getting Jaxie skip. Harder trick than it looks to get off the bullet bill just the right time. It's too late and you'll crash in and die, and too early and you won't get the wall jump off in time. So, well done. So RockBand there, unfortunately taking a bit of damage, and doesn't seem like such a big deal, but taking damage does matter a lot in the sense that anyone who's paying close attention could realize that moons heal you after slipping over words a bit there, but there's a cutscene for that, and that takes around 2 seconds, so you kind of want to avoid damage. Unfortunately, it looks like Max got out of the bullet bill just a bit too late there. Skip. So he's gonna have to try again. Try. Nicely done. So, we're coming up on Light Kingdom here after Sand. We may actually get a choice, but the other, we still have to do both of them, so it's just whatever. It's the first one spamming A, so. And, Kingdoms in the Rat only takes around 3.5 minutes. We need to collect.
Not much variance in routing in this stage, you know, it's very straightforward. Most runners have the same route compared to like Sand, where it seems like every runner sometimes has a different route.
Taking the Cheep Cheep through. Cheep Cheep is the fastest way to swim through water, so we're gonna get a couple moons down here in the water, and then use the Cheep Cheep to do a decently precise jump. One that's hard, but gets easier with practice to skip to get to the boss fight a bit earlier than intended. Hopefully we'll see him hit it first try here.
Now Max is on too late as well. See if we can catch up.
definitely missing a cycle skip here for RockBandMan. Just forces makes the boss jump around a bit, losing a bit of time, but
you do that fight optimally, use a lot of you can pretty much just constantly backflip, and it's pretty easy to beat. I believe that Rockman had a 116 and Max had a 127.
127.23, and then RockBand's got a 116.33.
If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them in the chat, and we'll try our best to answer them.
It's an easy win. There's a lot of mistakes that can happen, small things that lose a minute or two for RockBand, and you know, if Max plays at the pace he's playing at right now, just a little bit of mistakes here and there won't be too hard to PB.
Definitely seen a lot of races in various tournaments where the runner with the lesser time or worse time actually won the race.
Oh yeah, happened to me actually. It wasn't that big of a time difference, only a minute or two, but I won a race against someone with a PB that was better than mine. Like 4 minutes, so you know, anything can happen. So buying the first 2 moons here, RockBandMan, so enough coins to buy the second one, so no problem there. Just Sphinx really securing the amount of coins he needs to get. How much RNG is in this run? Actually, there's a couple boss fights where some of the spawns are affected by a bit of RNG. Not too bad. It's nothing that'll make you lose minutes. Weed spagging.
Usually Mario, the 3D Mario games, usually not that much RNG in general for them, so yeah. Sunshine's probably the most RNG heavy of the 3D platformers.
Definitely agree with that. Boys here for RockBandMan, one of the hardest things in the game to do optimally. Very hard to do without taking damage. See if Max can do the pipes well. Really don't expect him to. But it's just insanely hard to do optimally.
Yeah, I don't know if this will have eventually more runners than Super Mario 64. I think what's going to be interesting is this game has a lot of hype right now, but you know, SM64 has been around for so many years, so it'll be interesting to see this game have the longevity as a speedrun as that game.
Mariachan, yeah. Neutral Panda is basically right. Is best time world record is hour 5 minutes 35 seconds, and out of the 820 on speedrun.com, 10th place run is an hour and 24 minutes. But I'd say if you really put a lot of time into it, I'd say the average time for a decent runner is like 1:18. It would be 1:13 range, low 1:13.
Yeah, I think like it was like 550 runners had a sub 130 or something crazy like that. So.
Sub 130 is. Oh yeah, 533 runners.
I think the 100% was like 13-ish hours last time I checked. Then again, I've been following 100% as much as any percent.
100% has 11 runners, 12 hours, 57 minutes is the world record.
Yeah, so I was pretty close with the 13 hours.
Blind, it's like 20 hours. That's what I did. I had a casual run, and then I tried to just do it. 20-hour time, but not a lot of people run it. It's just long, and the last 200 means are just coin grinding, so it's not really worth it. Yeah, it's really grueling. Hypermaster. Hype Master. I wouldn't suggest it. Back to the runners here. A little bit of a tangent there. We got RockBandMan finishing up Wooded, and Max just getting the Piranha Plant Moon, so he's got around another 3 minutes to go here in Wooded.
Couple moves and then the final boss fight.
And try and move on to Metro here, but you know the game's not gonna let us. We gotta fight Bowser first, so we're gonna have a pretty fast fight for Bowser here. Fast Bowser fight coming up here. You'll see runners mess up the cycle skip, but we're gonna hold the hat out until we're just close enough to Bowser, and then start punching him before he's able to jump away. It cuts down on an attack cycle. Great.
Now finishing up this final this boss strategy multi-moon, which is the final thing, the final 3 stars for Wooded and go on to Bowser fight.
And Bowser fight from RockBandMan. Didn't really see a major mistake there.
Steve, do you rate it as a speed game or as a casual game or both?
Yeah, I'd say as a casual game, it's definitely like 10 out of 10. Just the storyline and the features and everything. Speed game, probably like. Yeah, this is my first speed game I've ever ran, so I'm not in a position to rate it. like an 8 or a 9, because there's some route differences, but you know it's pretty tight. Like the world record has a better time than second place's like sum of best. Something, I guess, just optimizing things crazily. Galactic issue.
I think it definitely has an opportunity to eventually, you know, become one of the, you know, top 10, top 5 speed games out there. If it isn't already.
In terms of like players running it, or just like popularity, yeah. That's what I think.
I mean, number of runners is already up there, but as far as like, you know, longevity and, you know, consistent popularity, yeah.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. So speaking of Lost here,
a lot of people from like the SMC core community, so yeah, it's popular now, but in 10 years will it be popular, you know, stuff like that. So
yeah,
just gotta wait and see.
You know, RockBandMan just ran up against that bird, scared it away, and that bird, what community calls klepto, is supposed to steal your hat, and then you're supposed to be able to get it back. But that's slow, you know, you don't want people stealing things, it's rude. So we can actually go around the side of the mountain and avoid the trigger entirely. And then if we run up to him and trigger his attack phase, which is why the music sounds all kind of like tense, actually thinks he has our hat, even though he doesn't. So he won't make an attempt to steal it when we actually do go into the trigger zone. That death was intentional. I'm going back to the Odyssey. Nice Lost Kingdom there. Has a lot of potential to mess up, as if you do die in the route, even on that last moon before collecting it, you do have to go around and re-avoid the trigger, as it doesn't save when you die. So, when you die, it realizes that it actually doesn't have your hat, and so you'd have to redo the trigger. So.
Max is now on to Lost Kingdom. No problem with Butterfly.
Really tight jump coming up here in Night Metro, Rainy Metro, Dark Metro, whatever you want to call it. But really nice to see them from RockBandMan. Gets the second jump almost perfectly too, so. Max, unfortunately dying and lost, just misplaced his jump, so he's gonna have to re-go around Klepto here. Just a misplaced ground pound there, unfortunately, costing him another death. Gonna put him just that far behind. That's something you don't want happening in a race. Meanwhile, RockBandMan's struggling a bit with City Hall here. One of the most movement-intensive parts of the entire run. Just everything is risky, nothing is safe. There's just a lot of really precise inputs.
At the end of Rainy or Dark Metro, we have one of the, in my opinion, most annoying boss fights in this game. In the Mecha-Wiggler.
Definitely not one of my favorites either. And that was a very scary jump from RockBandMan. He gets it very nicely done, but you fall down, you'll have to retry all over again. Looks like Max forgot to put those attack phase, so he avoided the trigger at the start, but attack phase, so the trigger was still there. Fortunately, he's gonna have to get Cappy back to advance, so that Max is RockBand here. I think it's just stupid, just based on the way everything is controlled. I'm not a fan of the motion controls. Work well. Clunky. It's gotta get all these orbs down for a 2-cycle, and one more well-placed shot will do it. And takes a death somehow. Looks like that might have been from a fireball shot out, but really unfortunate death, as he's gonna have to redo.
Yeah, that's gonna set him back at least a minute. It looks like Max is headed off to Metro now as well.
Yep, hopefully RockBandMan gets the 2-cycle here and doesn't die again. Get out of Lost Kingdom after an unfortunate turn of events. This is one of the RNG parts, one of the only parts with RNG I should say in the entire run here, is just where this Mecha Wiggler moves. Hopefully Max doesn't die, or hopefully RockBandMan doesn't die again and is able to get this 3-cycle or 2-cycle. Just barely squeezes it out. Really nice save there. Max is coming up on the hard jump here. Really makes it there. Cappy kind of slipped along that wall, so he had to delay and just sit there in the air a little bit longer than he would have liked. But didn't matter. He still got up. Got City Hall and Mecha Wiggler. And he's moving on to. Nice, it's the real, but like, main part. That's the word I was looking for. I couldn't think of the inverse of nighttime for a while there.
Day Metro. The end of Day Metro, we will hopefully get to hear one of the biggest memes in this game. OTF.
Definitely gonna hear that.
Need some good OTF in my life right now.
RockBandMan doing the RC car moon. It's definitely a lot harder than it looks. Execute wasn't perfect, but could have been a lot worse. Not what you think they should be whatsoever. So can definitely lose upwards of 20-30 seconds on that.
Max making that pretty precise jump, and now he's on to boss fight as well.
RockBandMan with bench friends, probably my second favorite moon in the entire run. Gonna break that top left box, which breaks in one hit for some reason. All the other ones take 2. Not sure why. About get a couple more moons pretty fast. End of daytime Metro in a couple minutes. Still gonna take a bit of time here, but Starting to attempt a 2-cycle here. Hopefully he'll be able to get it. Bit of time over RockBandMan. Doesn't look like he's gotten a lot of hits off so far. It's definitely going to be a struggle here. High up. Oh, he's got the last hit. Real nice Mecha Wiggly there from Max. So RNG almost messed him up a bit there. We're barely high enough. But if they're too high, it does make it a lot harder to hit those final ones. So. Is RockBandMan gonna make it in time? Yeah, he is. And if you don't, you gotta go all the way back, so. Good thing he made it.
Now Max is on to dates on that show as well. After that really nice boss fight. Really well. Nice 2-cycle, nice execution.
We'll see if he can get RC car. Close. There you go, he's got it.
Struggled a little bit, but he pulled it off.
RockBandMan's gonna talk to two. We're gonna talk to 2 of the 4 musicians that Oling wants. Yeah. Real nice with Mario. Coming up on the best moon in the entire run.
Yay!
Tip.
Oh, tap. Yay!
And Mario-chan, the Night Festival, is not required, unfortunately, as it's very fun to play, but not required to move on, and it's just too slow for the moves that we get, so and not part of the run.
I believe it is required in World Peace %, correct?
World Peace is defined as getting all the multi-moons in each kingdom, so it is in that run. But
yeah, that's what I thought.
X-Man PBs, RockBandMan's got a 116.30-ish, and then Max has a 127 something. Approximately. So here we're the Snow Kingdom, and it's one of the slowest kingdoms in the game, just in terms of moons that we have to collect. As there's 10 moons, and it takes 5.5 minutes when done fairly well. That in perspective, Lake or Seaside, the next kingdom I should say, is 10 moons. It takes 4 minutes. Sand is 20, and also takes 5.5 minutes if done well. There's 16. And it's just because as you noticed while going into Snow Kingdom, it's very blizzardy outside. To stop that blizzard from happening and to unlock all the moons that are outside, we need to do the main storyline here, which is participating in their race. But too slow for the route. Takes a long time for all the cutscenes and things to do, required things before we actually start the race. And then the race itself takes a long time. So we don't do that, and we're left with only 13 moons that we can get for the race.
There's actually a skip you can do to get to the race right away, but it's still extremely slow to do for N%.
Actually, wall clip, yeah, into. You have a couple choices of what walls you want to wall clip into, but skip the four rooms required here. But it's still just too slow. It's frame perfect. So. Max just finishing up Metro Kingdom here. He's going to be on snow with RockBandMan. I'd say he's around 2.5 to 3 minutes behind. Just guesstimating here. Approximately is what I would say. And Cruz, happy holidays to you too. Break's starting up soon. We got finals finishing up. Happy holidays, man.
Thank you very much, Donkey Cruz. Happy holidays to you as well. And to everyone else in the chat.
We've got a lot more races coming up in the next couple of weeks during the holidays. You know, people get off school, off work. So, stay in the next couple of weeks. So.
Interesting that Max decided to go to Seaside first, even though he already had over 100 points.
Maybe it's just how splits are laid out and he'd like to keep it consistent. But not sure why he did that yet. It's not faster to go for one over the other. It's actually just a second slower to choose Seaside in the Kingdom Selector when you want to go to first. And that the only reason to go Seaside first would be getting coins required for the Snow Kingdom if you didn't use the Sphinx, but did opt to go for the Sphinx, so I'm confused as to why he went Seaside first, but we'll never know.
We have him in for an interview, maybe something we can ask him later.
Yeah, definitely. Be joining Max in Seaside in just a bit. But yeah, it'll look like he's ahead, but he won't be. He'll still have to complete Snow Kingdom, unfortunately for him. It's like RockBandMan spamming B at the Kingdom Selector there for a second.
Max, now onto the Cheap Cheap portion of Seaside.
Cheap Cheeps are the fastest way to move around underwater, and the squid gushing thing we saw a little bit during the run is the fastest way to move above water, so see usage of both of those throughout the run.
And one thing you kind of see throughout the entire run is the different movement options required as far as the different enemies that we capture in this run. So not only do you have to be precise and skillful in moving Mario, but as well as all the different enemies that we capture as well.
Yep. With this last moon here in Seaside, looks like Max will be finishing up here.
Very nice Seaside by Maxx.
Really well executed. RockBandMan using the Gushing to get over to the Cheep Cheep.
If you want to see any of the schedule or the brackets for this tournament or any of the other tournaments on Speed Gaming, either find them. There's either by the exclamation mark commands or underneath if you scroll down. If you're on a laptop or a computer, you know, there'll be a banner that you can click on as well.
Nick Quisame asking what's the moon count right now, and just going off of memory here, I would say you finish with 75, 85, 95. Do some quick math. All right, yeah. So RockBandMan is currently sitting at 2, and Max has, RockBand has 93. Max has 94 for RockBand. Max has 87. So 7 moons apart. RockBandMan finishing up Seaside, so he's going to be moving on to the Luncheon Kingdom as he has already finished Snow, opting to go for Snow first, and Max opted to go for Seaside first. So both kingdoms for both runners, just in a different order. Not a big deal. Function requires the second most moons out of any kingdom in the game to progress. We need 18 to advance. Actually, it goes by pretty fast. It only takes around 7 minutes, so still not too bad. Still yet to be encountered in this run. Really nice jump there for RockBand. Yep.
Route differences in Lunchman as well.
Couple just orders of what you're doing. Unfortunate bonk there from RockBand, but recovers pretty quickly. And fighting the same boss we saw in Wooded Kingdom just 30-ish minutes ago. Same strategies used. Nothing different here. We encounter all bosses twice in the game, but this guy and Topper are the only ones we fight twice. Topper being the green hat guy that we fought in Cap Kingdom. We opt to skip as they're slow. Or occurrences, I should say.
Only difference is we only get 1 star for this one instead of getting the multi-moon.
Yep, and unfortunately we can't skip it, so it's just forever suffering. Really nice luncheon so far from RockBand, minus the couple points of damage he took during the boss fight. A homing throw on the cap there to break that box.
Both runners are playing very well compared to their skill level at PBs in this race.
Oh yeah, definitely. We got... say RockBandMan right now. If I had to take a guess, I'd say 3.5 minutes left to go in luncheon. He's got 3.5 minutes in Ruined Kingdom, so that's around 7 minutes. So that'll put him at a 59:30 when he finishes Ruined. 10 minutes for Bowser's, so that's a 109:30, and then 6 minutes for Moon Kingdom, be a 115:30. So RockBand could potentially PB with just those times I stated. Max is only 3-4 minutes behind RockBand at this point, so he has the potential for a huge PB if he can keep up the same pace as RockBand. Yeah, it's different, the same routes and the same movement strategies, but definitely it's still possible for a PB.
The group of hand throwing guy can be very annoying, and sometimes those hands don't go exactly where you want to go.
A little bit of RNG there, but it doesn't lose too much time. RockBand entering the Potable room here. If he takes some of the fast strategies in the room, looks like he is. A little bit of a scary jump here coming up. Just gotta dash over that lava gap. It takes the intentional damage there to boost himself to that moon a little bit faster. Doesn't have to wait for the platform to move. So.
Very nice execution there by that room by RockBand.
Unfortunately. Yeah, but yeah, I just gotta be careful. I mess up anything else before he gets this next moon. Which, luckily there's not much to mess up here, it's just shake the meat, be the meat. Yeah, one of the easiest multi-moons in the game. Not completely sure why it's multi-moon. Moon, but you know, we're not complaining, it's fast.
Definitely a very easy multi-moon.
With that multi-moon, luncheon is over. Unfortunately, because I really like the art style personally.
Here's that based off of his timer, it looks like he's probably like 15-20 seconds behind PB as of right now.
Definitely a really nice pace. So Rune Kingdom is another one of the kingdoms. It's just a boss fight, and you know, unfortunately, this one is just only auto scroller bosses in the entire game. It's really not that difficult, and just doing the right things at the right time is really all you need to do. There's very minimal time save you can have over runners, unless if someone drastically messes up, but yeah, that's about it.
Some runners like to call this fight Dark Souls because the imagery reminds them of Dark Souls.
Sorry about the sniffling, Shenron. It's cold season, I guess. I'll try and mute my mic when I have to do that, sorry. You know, nice execution for RockBandMan here, but not much else to say. It's a pretty simple boss, you know. Outside of the die. That's about it. And that's it for the boss fight, so you know, not much he could have done better there, so not too bad, but struggling a bit here with the Poker Rune. Did you get that moon? Not too bad there.
Oh no.
You know, as I say that, commentator's curse there.
Here's that Mac is having some trouble with the lava room in Luncheon.
Coming up on Bazer's Kingdom here for RockBandMan. Hardest kingdoms in the game.
Max, finally done with Lava Room. Almost on the luncheon.
It's RockBandMan is platforming through Masters right now. It's got, you know, a little bit of platforming sections and then fights. It's really nicely designed, in my opinion, at least. Max finished up the Ocean Kingdom.
Maybe about a 5-minute difference between runners right now.
It's a lot bigger or smaller with Bowser's Kingdom. So RockBand did get the behind the wall man, so unfortunately, as one of my favorite moves in the run. Gets behind the wall, and now he's got all the extra moves he needs. We actually need. You won't see the outlines on the top, as I presume the game doesn't want to distract you from the fact that you can leave. But you need 2 extra moons on top of the 6 we get from the story, so 8 in total to the Moon Kingdom. So. Once again. Now he's just got a lot more hats, so I'm gonna use the little strat here to get around his spinning attack, which we didn't see in Cap Kingdom, but the ground pound there misses it, but he knows exactly where that hat is, so he's targeting it down here.
And if you haven't been able to tell from this point in the run, there's a lot of hats in this game.
That's definitely. Everyone's either wearing a hat or using hats or throwing hats. Takes a hit there. And one of the harder bosses to do well is precise angles on these bomb throws, and RockBand's struggling a bit. So she's going to throw out her homing bombs. I'll die for the first cycle. See if we can get the second cycle. As Max finishes up the Dark Souls auto-scrolling Odyssey. Nice 3rd cycle for RockBand there, finishing up Harriet with a very nice time. left of Bowser's is just a little bit of platforming, and then the worst boss in the entire run. Would agree with me when I say that. It's just not a pleasant boss. Doing well on the platforming so far, no major mistakes here. I take a bonk. I messed something up.
Commentator's curse strikes again.
Yeah. Every time I say something's going well, you know, something's gotta not go well right after that. Might have just thrown away the PB, but yeah, it's still definitely possible.
Got about 10 minutes before it's PB.
So it's gonna be able to, if he manages to not choke this a little bit here, definitely want to take a death. But Moon Kingdom done well takes around 6 minutes, so he can finish Bowser's with around 10 left, and he'll be good. I think it's possible at his current pace.
Definitely be really great if both runners can pull out a PB in this race.
Yeah, definitely. Grabs the checkpoint to heal up before the mecha fight, definitely important. And it's happening. Yeah, he can definitely still PB if he does the mecha fight perfectly here. He's gonna have to do it perfectly though. He's going for birdless.
Yeah, about 20 minutes before his PB, so he's definitely on PB pace right now.
He's gotta get that grab pad. Oh, I've never seen that mistake happen from a runner, so it's gonna waste 15-20 seconds. Not too bad, not as bad as missing some other cycles, but definitely you don't want that happening. Does manage to get that ground pound back there, but he's gonna try and stand for the second cycle here. And he does. We'll see if we can get back for the third cycle. Looks like he's got more than enough height here. It is the hardest though to get back on from this third cycle. The grab hand there. Looks like he's got enough height to get back on. Lands that grab hand, so really nice mech.
Nice boss fight by RockBandMan, excuse me. Firework explode and about to grab the multi-move.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be really close to PB pace here. He's really close here to his PB time. I'm gonna check what it is actually, see if he can PB by a few seconds. And 1:16:33, so definitely possible, but we'll see if he'll only improve him by a few seconds if done well. Yeah, with a 6-minute Moon Kingdom, he's really got like barely enough time to save here.
Yeah, it looks like about
Looks like
10 seconds stays behind.
maybe at the best, yeah. Gotta play a perfect Moon. Check his splits on his stream and see if he's got anything. He's just got his time. He doesn't got any splits open.
Oh no, really bad death in this fight by Matt.
Unfortunate. At least he's picked up the checkpoint, but you know, Topper does go a lot harder with his extra hats. You gotta really make sure that you're on top of your game. I'm up on one of the biggest skips, the biggest skip in the entire game. And using some just precisely placed wall jumps here. Entirety of a moon cave that we're supposed to do, and he gets it first try. So he's definitely on PB pace here. He's gonna not want to mess up anywhere, but by a few seconds, which would be awesome to see. Bullets are just barely red. So his timer got red there for like a second, so close to this PB up with this nice Bowser fight. Can't mess up a single cycle here. And say that, you know, what you say about commentators increases these days, but anyways, I think just enough time to put him out of PB range by a couple seconds, which shit.
Yeah, Max got some platforming and then the big brutal fight. Finish up Bowser Kingdom.
Yep. He's still on PB pace here.
He's got about 14 minutes left.
RockBandMan, except for that first little mistake on the Bowser cycle, looks like he's doing alright so far.
I don't know what happened there. He lost his capture.
Might have hit the wrong button there or something. But pace, so still could have a really nice run.
Don't say that, Donkey Cruise, you know, anyone can speedrun a game, you know, everyone starts out, you know, not being as good, you know, practice and, you know, runs, you know, everyone, you know, improves a lot, and that's, you know, all comes down to having fun.
Oh yeah, I never even thought about speedrunning a game before Odyssey came out, and I want to stop playing. So I just looked up a route and got super involved in the community. And you know, my time's decent. I can definitely still improve it a lot, but just with the practice you put in, it really just shows. Like my first run here was 2 hours, and now my time's sitting at like a 1:13. So improvement you can just see, and it's really fun. Speedrunning, all it is just putting a timer next to yourself while you're running the game. That's it. A minute.
Yeah, when you look back on your times, you know, you really, and like, you know, see you from like months ago, you really are impressed with how much you improved.
Max struggling a bit with the mecha fight here. I think he fell off on a cycle. RockBandMan is looking to be on PB pace by just a few short seconds, but missing those fireballs surely is going to help.
Got some nice anime music going on in the background.
Sour please in the chat. Decent fireballs will put him within just a couple seconds of his PB, but it's going to be really close. This is really close here. He's gotta nail these fireballs here. One more. He's got it. I think he's gonna PB. Oh, he's like so close. I don't think he has it. Seconds, yeah. That's unfortunate. And
missed it by 3 seconds.
Three whole seconds. It's here for a PB of at least a couple minutes.
That's still really good compared to your interview. If you're basically tying your PB in a race tournament setting, that's still very impressive.
Yeah, really nice run coming out from RockBand. So the nerves of a race and everything, you know, never know what's gonna happen. And okay. Nice run.
Yeah, if you want to come in for an interview, RockBandMan, just hop on the Discord.
Doing just that. How's it going, RockBand?
Alright, interview time.
You're talking.
Gotta get my
Yeah, I
game
hear you.
face on, dude. Oh shoot.
Yeah, if you want.
Mic isn't working, yeah. He'll get there. But, you know, Max on pace for high 123, which would PB by about 4 minutes. Looking forward to see that from him.
Still really impressive. You can be by a couple minutes. Really good run for you.
Oh yeah, it's definitely awesome.
Hello?
Man, how's it going? What's
My
up?
mic's working now? Okay, perfect.
Ron, what do you think?
I feel like the fact that I was so close to my PB shows at least somewhat that I'm somewhat consistent. But there was still a lot of silly things that I did that shouldn't have happened. But I'm still
So
overall really happy with it.
Great run, you know, getting 3 seconds away from your PB, especially in a race with all the pressure and everything. It's really hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, a couple, there's a death, I think, on Mecha Wiggler there. That was sort of the main thing I saw that you messed up.
Yeah, and I died on the climb to Mecha Bowser, or Mecha Brutal.
Yeah, I did see that as well. Just
Just a couple things that don't usually happen. They're easily fixable, so I think I should be able to PB pretty easily. But for a race, that was as good as I could have asked for.
How did you do with the nerves, you know, especially at the end, knowing that you were so close to PB?
It's hard to... I get really nervous, especially when I get super close to a PB like that. But my mindset, especially in like a race, is that I'm doing it to race, not to PB. So, the PB nerves really weren't there so much. It was more I was more just focused on the race.
Yeah, that's fair. I had a question and I just forgot it. But yeah, Speaking of just messing up silly things that you never messed up before, I mean, I know exactly how that feels, you know. Every time I'm on PB pace, I always feel like I die on like the easiest jump ever in Luncheon, or like mess up on just the easiest platforming in Bowser. So, what do you
Or
think?
you just screw up
yeah.
a simple movement too, like just throwing your hat the wrong way or something.
On that note, what do you think you're gonna practice to try to improve your time?
I do want to focus a lot more on the late game kingdoms that aren't Bowser. I've practiced Bowser Kingdom a lot in the past little while. I feel like I need to refine those other late game kingdoms, like the smaller ones like Snow and Seaside. There's just some silly things that are happening in there. I also want to practice Mecha Wiggler because he apparently has given me some trouble.
I think in practicing the kingdoms, you don't get as much in runs as, you know, sometimes you'll reset after a bad death in sand or cap.
Yeah. The early game kingdoms I'm quite comfortable with, but the late game ones no, it's also nerves play a part of it too, because once you get there, if you're ahead, you just kind of get a little bit nervous anyway. But still, I feel like even just small movement wise, I could refine those late game kingdoms a lot.
Yeah, no matter what speedrun you are doing, it's always important to practice those later levels, because, you know, we do them less because, you know, if we're resetting on early levels, we do them more. So
yeah,
definitely important to practice those later styles. Are you pretty new to speedrunning, or are you kind of one of those old experienced people?
I've been speedrunning for a long time, but I wouldn't say I'm very experienced. I've speedrun for a long time, but I was never really too great at it. Like I've speedrun Mario 64 for a really long time, but I wouldn't say my time in it is very great. It's okay, but not amazing. I think Mario Odyssey is like the first game that I feel like I'm actually kind of okay at. And it's only like, the game's only been out for 2 months, so I have a lot of room for improvement.
Yeah, that's definitely something to look forward to, is just keep improving your time, and if you're having fun with the game, I mean, it shouldn't matter how good you are against other people, it's really just a race against yourself.
Yeah.
It's a great mindset to have.
Is this your second race of the tournament, I believe?
Yeah.
And what happened in the first race?
I was ahead and I died in 2D escape. It was quite devastating, but it happens.
So you're 1-1 going into your last match. You know, what are you going to do to try to win your next race and advance to the bracket stage?
Probably just keep I just got to keep practicing everything. Like the late game stuff I do want to focus on, but everything kind of just needs to be refined down to a T. And even just improving my time before the race puts me in I feel like it puts me in a better mindset, because I know I can do better. I've done better before, so it's just a weird mindset thing. So that's kind of what I'm focusing on over the next little bit.
Yeah, you're definitely extremely close to getting a PB, you know, a pretty sizable one, you know. Just like if you didn't die in the fight in Metro, you know, you could have PB'd by like a minute.
Yeah, I lost a very, very huge chunk of time there.
Yeah, so your next race, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing you in that hot, sexy PB.
Well, thank you.
Max is on the Bowser escape. Looks like he's on pace to PB. You know, let's get some hype for Max.
Heck yeah. A runner with 3 seconds off their PB, and it looks like Max will PB by around a minute. So, awesome for him. Just on these fireballs, last section here.
RockBandMan, what was kind of like your mindset of entering a tournament like this, and what made you want to participate in the tournament?
Mainly the fact that just Odyssey is such a fun game to run. Like I love running this game, even when I'm like doing not great. It's still the game's just a joy to play, like casually speedrunning. Like I really like this game, and it's just for fun basically. I don't really care if I make it past the group stage, then that's awesome. But if I don't, I'm not going to be upset. I'm just doing it for the fun.
One thing that's great about the tournament is kind of like you get to meet so many different runners, so many different people as far as the different community and everything. That I always love that inspires tournaments and races and everything.
Shoutouts to Max for PBing by around a minute and a half. 126.02. We'll see.
602 Kappa.
A little bit longer than this run. 602. Just
Nope.
by a few minutes.
Just a little bit. Yeah, that's just a little bit.
It's here and there. Yeah. Sometimes save could make it a little bit faster than these runs, but players, congrats on taking the win, Rock Band.
Thank you.
Yeah, Max, if you want to come in, go right ahead.
Join us here in just a few moments.
Hype Master, PB speedrunners from the crack.
Hello?
Max, how's it going? What are your thoughts on the run, with the PB and all?
Hello?
Hear us?
We can hear you.
Hear us.
Hello? Hello?
Hello? Can you hear us?
Score technical difficulties. Bear with us. Difficulties as they always are. Looks like he's gonna join and leave and rejoin. Hopefully it'll fix the problem. Yeah, just curious to see about what he thought about his run, things he can improve, stuff like that.
Hello?
Hello?
I still can't hear anything. Sorry.
It's definitely weird. We're still talking. But it's, see if we can fix it, but ask questions you have for us, Rock Band, or anything.
No, I'm good.
Yeah.
One thing, make sure you follow both of these runners if you want to see more Odyssey speedruns or whatever else they want to speedrun or stream on their channels. Make sure you follow Speaking if you want to see more races of Zelda or Mario or whatever that's going on. And also have the YouTube channel that you can check out prior races as well. So definitely check those out. Follow the runners, follow Speed Gaming.
Follow the commentators if you really want to.
If you want to be a meme, you can follow me.
I sometimes stream without audio or chat, so if you love streams with no viewer interaction, you can follow me if you want. But wrap it up for us. Congrats again to Rock Band on the win. Again, follow everyone here if you haven't already. We all really appreciate it. Coming in for the third time.
You guys now.
You can hear us now. All right, there we go.
Oh, you can hear us now. Great.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, don't worry about it. So, what do you think of the run?
Oh man. Well, to start off, I did PB in this race, which is, better than I've ever done. But that said, I was very disappointed with a few sections in my run. Specifically, Lost was where I really feel like I lost. That was just miserable. Died after activating the klepto, and then once I made it back, forgot to activate the klepto again, so it triggered later on. So that was just a mess. A couple other pretty bad deaths. Luncheon was rough. I died like 4 times, I think, in the Podobo room. Yeah, overall, lots of mistakes. I was hoping to practice more this week. Didn't really get a chance to, but all that said, I mean, a PB is a PB, and I knew going into this that RockBandMan had a better time than I did. Didn't really expect to win, but decided I would give it my best and see how I did.
You definitely got a really nice PB there, so I wouldn't be too hard on yourself.
Well, thank you.
What's your summer best, if you don't mind me asking?
Let me check now that I got a bunch of gold splits this time.
PB and a bunch of gold splits? Nice.
Definitely awesome, yeah. But I think that happens with every PB. Is I know I got a PB by 9 seconds a couple days ago, and I was really disappointed with like half of the run, and so it'll happen. You'll have things that'll go bad, things that'll go good. It's really hard to string together just a gold split run, which is why you never see runners have their BB, their summer best. It's really hard to keep that consistency throughout a run, and that's just what you got to work towards while improving and stuff. But PB's a PB, Definitely be proud of yourself for that one.
Yeah.
This was your first race in the tournament, correct?
Yes.
I think you did very well for this being your first race in the tournament and your first kind of exposure to as far as like the big kind of Odyssey and tournament communities. So I think you did very respectable. Getting a PB, and definitely have some really good room for improvement as far as future PBs as well.
Yeah, thanks a lot. This is kind of a new world for me. I'm coming from the Zelda speedrunning side. I did Ocarina of Time for a long time, so this game's a lot different. The community has been great. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. Looking forward to racing with some other people and getting a better time.
How was would you say the Zelda community, speedrun community, is different from the Mario community? So I'm not familiar with Zelda at all, so I'm kind of curious.
Well, not so much the community. I mean, the community for Zelda is great too. The way that you run the games, since most Zelda games are kind of defined by some really specific, huge time-saving sequence breaks and glitches, and not so much by like your individual movement. So it's more about nailing like really tricky frame-perfect things first try, all in a row in a run. And if you do that, you don't have to worry as much about like bonks and just bad movement. And it feels like Mario is just a whole lot of movement, not a lot of huge, really tricky things. There's stuff like the moon skip, but yeah, Zelda had a lot more, even like setups and things where you go slow just to be really, really consistent because of how hard some of the things are. Yeah, so different approaches, but a lot of fun either way.
Oh, definitely cool to see you joining different parts of the speedrun community.
Thanks. Yeah, I had some encouragement from, got a real life friend. He raced already, Funga. I believe he won his first match. And he's pretty new to speedrunning in general, but he got into this game. He knew that I used to speedrun Zelda, and he's kind of been pushing me to join up, so glad I did.
It looks like
Mario
really
speedruns are definitely really fun to do.
Yeah. This is a super good game too. Like, I bought it just to play casually, and it blew away my expectations. This game is awesome.
Really nice time. It's got a 1:10:13. So.
Oh yeah, Funga.
Pretty good.
Yeah, he's been putting a lot of work into it. I think he's pretty happy with that time. But we'll see. He'll probably try to improve it.
That's awesome. And with that, I think that just about wraps us up here. Again, follow Speed Gaming. Follow the commentators if you want. If you want. But thank you guys for tuning in.
Yeah, more importantly, follow the runners. And see you guys whenever. Good night.
Take care.
See you. Good race, Max.
Thanks. Good game.
Have a good night.
You too.